What does compliance mean to PayStream? Compliance to PayStream means operating in a compliant manner in line with the law, particularly employment and tax law. However, laws can be interpreted in different ways by different individuals, which can in turn give legal and compliance teams in agencies huge headaches. That's why it's important for agencies to deal with compliance service providers who consult with tax advisors, lawyers and HMRC to keep up with changes in legislation or HMRC's interpretation of existing legislation. So, why should an agency be concerned about service provider compliance? Well, firstly, there is a financial risk of debt transfer under MSC regulations, meaning HMRC can pursue agencies for unpaid tax. There is also the reputational risk of using a non-compliant provider, which can sometimes irreversibly damage the reputation of your agency. It's also important to remember that some end clients will request proof that contractors are paying the right amount of tax, so making sure the service provider is working compliantly is key. If you're trying to do the right things for contractors, it's essential to work with suppliers who take the same approach. Furthermore, you could devalue your agency's value to a potential investor or purchaser if you make compliance-related mistakes. Lastly, as there is a degree of personal liability, the company directors of the agency should be concerned about service provider compliance as they're responsible for determining the risks the business is willing to take. So, how does an agency determine a service provider's compliance? The first thing you can do is send a questionnaire to the service provider which lists a series of compliance-related questions. If your provider has any third-party audits, you can ask to review them. These third-party audits will paint a clearer picture of how compliant your provider really is. Following this, you can then carry out a site visit in order to review working practices yourself. Finally, using a combination of all three methods will ensure you carry out the best assessment of your service provider. In our industry, a strong focus on compliance is essential, both for you and your contractors' peace of mind. If you have any questions regarding compliance, please feel free to get in touch with us on 0800 197 6516 or email us at agency_support@paystream.co.uk.